Welcome, everyone, and Happy New Year. We are officially in 2023. Before we get into the forecast for January, I just want to mention, of course, that this is a general forecast. If you would like a personal reading, or if you would like your own personal year ahead forecast, book some time with me. My information is in the description box below. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into this. Here we go. So a new year, a new energy to work with. We leave the energy of the 6 behind in 2022, and we jump into the very practical and very ethereal landscape of the 7 energy for the universal cycle of 2023. So if you haven't already, again, be sure to listen to your previously posted 2023 year ahead forecast for your specific life path number. Those are up on my YouTube channel and my podcast for your listening pleasure. Okay, so in this episode, we're going to first look at the collective energy for January 2023, which will sort of explore the cycle that we'll all be working with for this month. And then we'll take a look at the month ahead, including the energies for the new and the full moons of January for each life path number. Okay, so January 2023 is an 8 universal cycle. And so what this means is collectively we will be feeling much more focused, much more determined, and more motivated this month. So we're ready to make big strides on some of our greatest visions, and we can feel the excitement growing around creative projects and collaborations that sort of fuel our passions. This energy is saying, let's go. Under this energy, it's important to not see limitations as indicators that something is not achievable or that it isn't for you. We're meant to acknowledge those limitations and then call in the people and the resources that are the experts within those areas to assist, while we focus our own energy on the areas where we are the experts and where we can let our light shine the brightest. 8 energy understands the importance of collaboration and teamwork. It doesn't try to do it all alone, and it certainly understands that it isn't the expert at everything. The goal is to focus on and emphasize our own strengths while also allowing others to contribute in the same way. When we try to be the best at everything and fail to see our own limitations as an opportunity to allow someone else's strengths to shine through, then we restrict ourselves and, in turn, restrict others. So this is a great month to ask for assistance and to accept that assistance without trying to control it, right? So the month of January may start off a little slow, but by mid-month, the energy will be pushing us to get started on whatever it is that we set our sights on. Money and financial affairs could also come up this month, and you could see sort of an influx of resources, perhaps an uptick in clients or sales. Or if you've applied for, a new job or a promotion, you could see that come through at this time. New contracts could be initiated at this time as well. So if you're a freelancer or again, like work with clients, you may see an uptick there. Or for some, unexpected costs could surface at this time to have you to take a closer look at your spending and or your money management. This is a great energy when it comes to career or how you sort of make your money or your resources in the world. So if you're looking for work or if you're looking to change jobs, this is a very supportive energy to help you not only get your foot in the door, but bust through that door and get seen. So again, this is great energy for getting your name out there, putting yourself out there, getting seen, being recognized, getting those promotions, getting more clients, getting more sales, all of those things. This is very ambitious energy that we're working with, right? Or we have the opportunity to work with. Don't be afraid of taking risks this month, especially mid-month and onwards. Don't be afraid to promote yourself. And again, get your name out there, get yourself out there. Don't be afraid to be seen in whatever ways feel aligned for you. Not necessarily what feels comfortable for you, because sometimes we do have to step outside that comfort zone, right? But in ways that feel aligned. So it feels good, even though it might be a little scary, or it might be, again, different from how you're used to doing it. That is the power of the 8. It's going to sort of push us beyond our again, beyond those comfort zones. And that can include, again, like asking for assistance, asking for where you need help, where it is that you have those limitations. There is power in that, and the 8 energy is going to assist us in doing that. The energy of the 8 reminds us that if we don't speak up and ask for what we want, then the answer is always going to be no. So be confident and bold and go for it. This vibration will also ask us to sort of proceed with honesty and integrity. Shady business isn't supported under this vibration, and using others to get ahead now might work initially, but the fall will be greater than the rise. So anything done without integrity, especially under the vibration of the 8, is not sustainable and will eventually crumble. So it's best to build from a foundation of honesty and integrity to begin with. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look at the month of January for your specific life path number now. Life path number 6. So I pulled an animal spirit message for you for January, and you got stork energy. This is interesting because with stork, of course, I think of sort of like the fairy tale and sort of how we depict the stork in stories, which of course is, bringing a newborn baby, delivering a newborn baby. So really it's this energy of like something new, but something new stemming from what you have created. So when stork appears, or at least the image that I'm getting, is this energy again of sort of something new coming into your life that brings you hope, that brings you joy, that brings further commitments, sort of as an omen or a signature of better times ahead, or different times ahead that have the potential to bring you a tremendous amount of joy, as well as learning curves and opportunities for growth. There's also this energy, of course, around like the home and the hearth and being surrounded by people you love and who love you, and this exchange of sort of unconditional loving energy. So this is incredibly beautiful. It's almost like something new and vibrant and like an addition to your journey coming in for you in January, which is beautiful energy. I love this because this is, again, it sort of signifies new beginnings and new experiences that maybe you haven't had before flying into your life, which is exciting, right? It's fun. And you being 6 energy, which is that of basically at your core, unconditional love and the home and the nurturing energy, this is just right up your alley. So I just love it. Okay, so looking at January, so of course you're going to be working with the energy of the 8, just like the rest of the collective. So everything that I mentioned in the intro is relevant for you. However, you'll also be working with the energies of the 5 throughout January, which is interesting because that really does align with the energy of stork. So changes, transformations, new additions, something coming into your awareness or your experience that changes your awareness or your experience is very, very possible. Anytime we have 5 energy, this is coincidentally, this is the energy of like children and joy and the inner child and like expansion and, again, like a sense of freedom, but a freedom of exploration for investigating and exploring and playing in the realm of the unknown to discover new things about self and about your environment, and then making some additions or some changes or some modifications because of that newfound awareness. And so when you're working with that energy of the 5, I always say, expect the unexpected. Like, more than likely some kind of change or shift, or the awareness of an upcoming change or shift comes into our sphere of awareness when we're working with 5 energy. So I just say expect the unexpected and go with the flow and try to be as adaptable as possible. And so what this kind of indicates for me with 5 energy, it being at the beginning of the year, so the beginning of a new journey, basically, or new adventure. And stork energy, it's very possible that some of you may be expanding your family. You might find out that you're pregnant, or your partner's pregnant unexpectedly or expectedly. Or you might be welcoming a new addition to the family in the form of like a pet, right? Or maybe a parent or a loved one has to move into the home. The opportunities, the possibilities are endless, really, especially when we're working with 5 energy. Because 5 energy, like I said, it's kind of like the soul taking over in a sense and shifting gears and putting you on the path that you are meant to be on for your destiny. That is really like when we have 5 in a cycle, that's really what I think of. And it can be incredibly challenging. Like, I'm just coming out of a 5 personal year. And I'll tell you, you think you don't know. It's like the things that come in and the changes and the fluctuations and the transformations and everything. It's like when you're going through it, it can feel tumultuous. It can feel scary. It can feel like you're stepping into and flying through outer space and the unknown. But when you land, you can kind of see what it was all for. Now, you're in a pretty quick 5 cycle with it being through January. So there probably won't be a tremendous amount that, comes in this month, although there might be. But I would still say, because it's 5 energy, and, again, I sort of equate it to the soul sort of taking over and shifting gears and making modifications to get us on the path of our destiny, of where we're meant to be in this lifetime. And so that's not typically going to be within the comfort zone. So when you go through some kind of a 5 cycle, there's usually some kind of shift that feels uncomfortable. Not bad, but uncomfortable, right? Or it might not make sense when you're in it, but when you're on the other side of it, you can see more clearly. And so again, it's a pretty short cycle. It's just for a month, but this is, I feel like, probably setting you up for the next 12 months, whatever kind of comes in for you, whatever new big ideas, whatever fresh new starts, any changes, transformations, shifts. And again, when you're in it, it can feel challenging at times, especially if something needs to be released or is sort of stripped away, which is always possible under 5 energy. So again, my recommendation would be to just go with the flow, see what shows up, see where you're being shifted, and move with it. And then once you're standing on solid ground again, then go from there, right? Like, make your adjustments as needed. But I think for 6s, this is going to be potentially, it's a general reading, but potentially this is going to be a big month. This is going to potentially bring in a lot of insights, a lot of clarity, a lot of opportunities for shifts and, just changes and transformations, or at least the initiation of that. Where you can kind of see or get a taste for what's upcoming in 2023 for you. So potentially a big month. Now, on January 6th, we have a full moon. And a lot of times full moons will indicate some kind of culmination, something coming to fruition, something coming to closure, something something making sense that maybe didn't make sense prior. And so for you all, this full moon is illuminating the energy of the 2. So immediately I'm thinking of like relationships. Now, that doesn't have to be just romantic relationships. This is how we relate to others. So this can be across the board relationships. And really what's kind of coming to mind is like new insights around your relationships, new ways of relating, new ways of communicating. There's also a really strong possibility for some changes and shifts within your relationships. So there might be some people that need to fall away as new people enter. Also, this can be the mending of some relationships. So again, something coming to fruition or completion. And so if there was some kind of like miscommunication or things were in disarray, things could come together now in a really beautiful way so that you can move forward, again, like in a healthier way, right? So I would say harmony, balance, coming together, relationships, healing of relationships, healing of past relationships, even if it's just energetically, right? Sometimes it's not healthy for us to connect with people from our past within the physical, right? Like that contract is over, it served its purpose, but maybe we're still clinging to some kind of like negative energy around whatever transpired within that relationship. And so this energy is sort of like bringing that to closure, like giving us what we need to be able to release those resentments, that trauma around whatever that is. Again, even if it's just like initiating it, but this is sort of bringing it to culmination. So I do think that there's going to be some opportunities for release when it comes to, again, like those relationships that have served their purpose that we're still holding on to just because of, again, like holding a grudge or having resentment or still holding on to that hurt for it not working out the way that we had expected it to. So there is an opportunity with this full moon to release that so that, the new relationships, the new opportunities that are a much more vibrational match and a much more aligned with the frequency that you're at this time, those relationships can now enter. So it serves a purpose. On January 21st, we have a new moon. And so for you all, this new moon, which again sort of signifies new beginnings, new initiations, I think again of like stork energy. So like something coming in pretty swiftly, expected or unexpectedly, that's a new start, that's a new beginning. And for you all, this is illuminating the energy of the 8. So this is very much aligned with the 8 energy that we're working with collectively in January. So if you didn't listen to the intro, I highly recommend going back and listening to it because everything I said for the 8 energy for the month of January for the collective is very, very relevant for you, especially around this new moon. So there could be new opportunities for new career, business, new clients, an influx of clients, new contracts. There could be, again, financial requirements that surface to, again, bring your attention to your spending or your management of your resources and your money so that you can kind of get that under control if need be. So the focus for you all with this new moon, again, is going to be something potentially around things to do with that 8 energy. So think status, power, resources, money, power dynamics. So again, like if there's some kind of imbalance in some kind of relationship, this new moon can give you fresh eyes so that you can sort of even the playing field, so to speak. But I would expect there to be some kind of new insights or new opportunities for even business partnerships, working with and collaborating with others that can really sort of assist you and catapult you into your next big adventure when it comes to your business or your career, right? Or it could be an opportunity to learn something new and become even more of an expert at your chosen field. So that's very, very possible. So pay attention to what comes in for you around those topics around the new moon on the 21st. So incredibly beautiful energy for you all 6s. for January and to start off 2023. Like I said, I do think that this could be a month that holds, could feel a little bit like a roller coaster throughout the month, again, with this 5 energy that you're working with. And because the 8 is so prevalent throughout the month for you all, especially, it could very much be around those 8 topics. So again, money, resources, status, power dynamics, anything within the physical, as well as your spiritual connection as well, that could very much come in as well. But yeah, just be open to whatever wants to show up for you this month, and take it with stride, be adaptable. And once you sort of move into February, you can kind of look back over January, see what came through, see the shifts that were made, and find your footing, and then make decisions on how to move forward. So potentially some big news coming in for you this month, potentially, not only around work and career and how you express yourself creatively, but also around home and the family type thing as well. So pay attention to that. But yeah, I hope it's a beautiful January for you all and an absolutely beautiful and prosperous 2023. And I will see you all again soon. Take care. Bye for now.